The project is about uh, designing an extension to a historical missionary school situated in the old city of Ahmedabad, designed in 1866. The contingencies given to me were: one, the school wants to instigate greater interaction between classes of different ages. Second, school increases the size by one third and switches to boys or girls only mode. Third, the school directives have a willingness to use part of the infrastructure for public use. Fourth, the school does not have enough funds and requests the intervention to be thought in phases. Fifth, the original structure is in good condition but does not allow any additional loads. And sixth, there is absolute freedom given to the designer. So, moving on to the current urban conditions, the school, as it was made very early and the campus grew around it later, does not face the campus and opens up to the road. The entry to the school is also such that children need not go through the campus to reach the school. This isolates the school in a way. So, a few options were looked at for placing the extension in the campus, looking at the positives and negatives of each. The second option was taken further as one part opens up to the city while the other opens up to the campus. The design of the extension was initially thought to be just extending the roofscape and creating semi-open spaces which can be used for various purposes and to break free from the rigidity of the existing building, which reflected strongly even on the pedagogy of the school. Functionally, the front extension would have public activities, while the public activities like waiting area, bus stand, shops, canteen, which would start generating income for the school and help in realizing the entire intervention. While the back extension would allow for the weekly market to be held on the ground floor and classes on the upper floor. It would also act as a bridge connecting the other school in the campus. Looking at the demographics, the current building has six classrooms ranging from standard 9 to 12 and four staff and admin areas and one principal's office. This school is symmetrically built in nature, but the way it is used is asymmetrical. The admin and the staff areas are closer to the entry, and the classrooms are further away. The entry is this where the classrooms are located near the staff rooms, and the admin is located near, while the classrooms are deeper into the building. Looking at the school would now consist of 12 classrooms and 4 admin spaces including principal's office. Both the extensions would cater to public activities on the ground floor and classes on the upper floor. The nature of the new classrooms is open and lacks any fixed furniture. These classrooms would also be used for various other activities. Moving on to the structure of the existing building, it's a brick masonry load bearing structure, and it gives a notion of heaviness and sitting on the ground, and to which the intervention would contrast by uh, creating a light metal frame on the ground floor and taking up the classrooms on the upper floor, which are more enclosed, while the ground floor is more open. The materials used are it's a metal frame structure, and the material used are discarded railway tracks and discarded bricks, old wooden planks. Moving on to the circulation of the building, it's completely changed, and the orientation of the building is now towards the campus in terms of circulation. So, removing the two cramped staircases from each side of the building and creating a central staircase in the center would allow for greater interaction between the students, and even the classrooms with multiple entries increase the probability of chanced interactions or accidental interactions inside the school. While the upper floor has a double loop circulatory circulation system where the classrooms themselves act as a um, circulation route, and this upper floor also connects the existing building with the other neighboring school. Um, so the overall idea of cradle to cradle germinated while addressing the contingency where the school does not have enough funds. I decided to use recycled or upcycled materials procured while demolishing other buildings or in other ways. So these materials include railway tracks, bricks, wooden planks, gas pipes, metal sheets, etc. With these, the contingency providing absolute freedom to experiment in different design ideas. The semi-open classrooms with, as you can see in this section, um, with a peculiarly loose functional nature were created, taking the design principles like classrooms having larger volumes and circulation spaces low in volume from the existing building. The extension on the upper floor was created, while the lower floor was almost open, consisting only of the metal frame and a shop and a canteen, which also do not rise higher above the compound wall level. So, addressing another contingency of disposing a part of campus for public use, the shop and the canteen already do that. Along with that, front ground floor on the front extension, where it acts as a bus stop or the waiting area. Even the back extension's ground floor acts similarly, where there can be a weekly market held in the open plaza, and the way the metal frame is situated, and also the um, as you can see here in this section, the metal frame allows for various temporary structures or stalls to be built, and along with that, the higher volume uh, does not gives a notion of an open space, and also um, not cramped in inside, and the plants and the trees aid to that. So these are the drawings and the views showing materials and finishes. So ground floor while the ground floor of the extension facing the road is completely open, the idea is to create a park alongside the road, which can act as a waiting area for students and parents, bus stop for the city, with a canteen and stationery shop defining the boundary of that area, and the gap between the um, extension and the existing school is such that there are a lot of nooks and corners, and with this kind of a narrow gap between them, it gives a notion of an old city street, which is not far away from the building. The school is thought about in phases, as one of the contingency says, and the first phase was to create the ground floor of the front extension where the shop and the canteen would be created, and they would start generating revenue for the school. Later, the upper floor of the front extension is created, and the slab of the back extension is created with the metal frame and the planters and all, which starts catering to the market, weekly market. And finally, the upper classrooms are completed on both the sides, and now the back extension acts as a bridge between two schools. So this is how um, the intervention is thought about in phases. Yeah, I'll quickly run through the PDF once again. Thank you.